So after an absolutely abysmal 2017-18 season, Marc Bergevin and the Montreal Canadiens had a franchise-altering decision after getting the third overall pick at the 2018 NHL entry draft. Now with that pick, the chatter was that Bergevin couldn't and wasn't going to make a big mistake with this draft pick. And hey, stick around if you think you know what I'm going to say, because I might flip it on its head a little bit. It's gotten so interesting over the years. He gets up on stage, he ends up picking jesperi kotkaniemi kind of out of the blue because he wanted a big centerman. And this guy's Finnish, and okay, I mean, who is this guy? What's going on here? And they put the camera on this lady in the crowd, and you can tell that she's like, what is going on? Like, who? Who did they just pick here? Why? What's happened here? And keep in mind, I mean, I know hindsight is 2020, but that draft did feature at third overall the possibility to get a guy like either Quinn Hughes or Brady Tkachuk, which definitely puts salt in the wound for Habs fans here. But after all these years with the whole offer sheet fiasco with the Carolina Hurricanes, I'm coming back and I'm thinking, man, the lady who had her hands on her face, like, oh my gosh, what did we just do? Maybe she was right about the Habs picking Kotkaniemi, that was the wrong decision. And he goes and signs that contract extension with the Carolina Hurricanes. A rough, actually, I'll say it, brutal start to the season with the Hurricanes this year. He started to pick it up. He had like a 5-point night in his last game against the Tampa Bay Lightning here. And for a 22-year-old centerman who's 6'2", 200 pounds, I'm seeing some more people on Twitter switching and looking at the Habs center depth. And okay, you've got Nick Suzuki, but especially cornering in on a guy like Christian Dvorak, who was supposed to be the replacement for jesperi kotkaniemi. I'm seeing quite a few Habs fans saying, man, that was a mistake to let him sign that offer sheet and go with the Carolina Hurricanes. But personally, I don't think it was a huge mistake for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's reported by Jean-Charles Lajoie that the Habs were ready to match the offer sheet that jesperi kotkaniemi signed with the Hurricanes under the condition that KK then signed a long-term extension with the Habs at the first possible moment. So it's not like Bergevin just decided, oh, we're not going to match, goodbye. No, apparently the offer was there. It's just that Kotkaniemi ghosted them and was like, you know what, peace out, I'm taking my talents to North Carolina. And secondly, there was already some friction being built up between KK and Habs management, and his play was really starting to dip, and he wasn't progressing at the rate that a lot of people were hoping or even thought that he would. Remember that famous thing where he puts up 4 fingers up to Habs management because he got healthy scratched, and then he has a pretty good playoff run and gets healthy scratched again in the Stanley Cup Finals against Tampa Bay? Like, that relationship was getting testy, and it was not looking great. So I don't think this is a huge mistake and the Habs just gave up on this kid that they shouldn't have given up on. There was a lot of things that happened here in a bunch of different places that it was almost like, all right, if all this circus stuff is going to happen around KK, I mean, goodbye. It's not like we have Sidney Crosby here that we can't afford to let go of. We're going to be just fine. Now, don't get me wrong, taking that capital and the space and everything they got from Kotkaniemi's departure and using it on Christian Dvorak was an awful move. That was a terrible move by Marc Bergevin, but I don't think that getting rid of KK himself was a huge mistake. And even if he comes out here and he lights up the Habs tonight because Carolina's in Montreal, let me know in the comments down below how that one goes tonight. I still don't think it was a huge mistake on Montreal's end. I really don't. I really don't. And maybe he makes the Habs look silly that he's not wearing that number 15 with the Montreal Canadiens. Personally, I'm not a huge KK guy. I don't think he has all the tools to be a first or even second line center in the National Hockey League. And even with the cap going up, his contract is not going to look good for the value he's going to provide. But that's just me. Maybe he proves me wrong. I like the kid as a person. We'll see what happens tonight. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.